I got us back to where we should be in part 3. I am so sorry about that, guys. That was a complete mistake. Let's get a little music, just to lighten the mood. Because this music's really good. And enough of that, let's continue.
The first fall is 23 G's before you start to crumple like a human accordion. For context, when you go on a roller coaster, the max G's that you feel is about 3 to 6. And when Apollo 16 re-entered Earth's atmosphere, it only got up to 7 G's. Right now, when we jump straight down into the uncushioned Nugget Cave, we're getting hit with almost 30 G's of force at the bottom. Way over the threshold to kill us. That means we need a lot of cushioning. But can chicken nuggets actually do the job? To find out, we need to know how compressible chicken nuggets are. Compressibility is basically how much give an object has when you put weight on it. Concrete, not very compressible. My love handles... sadly, very compressible. I mean, rock hard. I'm totally swole, bro. Can't spell fabulous without abulous. Yeah, I just need to stop sitting on my butt writing episodes and do exercise. So to test the compressibility of chicken nuggets, Steph and I actually ran around town collecting nuggets from a variety of different restaurants. Once we had successfully creeped out every drive-thru in a 10-mile radius by cleaning them out of their nugget supplies, it was time to test the compressibility under different weights. Gotta pay for some nugs. I hate myself for calling it nugs. Don't ever call it nugs.
No, never.
Based on those calculations, I was able to plot out the squishability of chicken nuggets in this very professional-looking graph. Ooh, we didn't even bother to label the axes. Man, that would be like 20 points off if this was graded. The first thing you'll notice here is that chicken nuggets aren't created equal. Wendy's nuggets are far and away the softest and best for compression. Meanwhile, McDonald's nuggets have a hard outer crust that's way too solid and barely compresses at all. So we know right off the bat, if we're going for softness, we're reaching for Wendy's and not the old McDo. Don't worry, McDonald's, your barbecue sauce is still my favorite. Because you're literally right around the corner from where I live, I'm just going to you first. That's just laziness. I also found out from our field tests that chicken nuggets have a weird inflection point where you get just the right amount of weight to squish the nugget down, usually around 5 pounds, but then after that, most of the compression is done, no matter how much more weight you add to them. This presents some serious problems. The thing about chicken nuggets is that, you know, they're a bunch of small, flat patties of meat. And unlike packing peanuts, airbags, or even plastic balls in a ball pit, they don't scatter. And they're not filled with a lot of air that you can compress. I mean, sure, they give you a little bit, but even a stack of 100 nuggets only sinks a few inches. It turns out that the harder you hit them with the weight, the more they just become one massive congealed lump of smushed nugget brick. Plus, as you begin to add more and more nuggets to the top of the pile, those nuggets start to weigh down the nuggets on the bottom, basically negating all the compression room that we wanted to have ready to catch our fall in the first place. So after extrapolating these graphs out to include stacks of hundreds or even thousands of nuggets, you start to see a disturbing pattern emerge. Instead of creating a soft pillow of nuggets to catch our fall, we've just created a greasy, meaty floor with a little bit of give, but not enough to slow our toddler hurtling towards the ground at 60 miles an hour. Even if the stack was 500 nuggets tall, by adding 21 inches of compressible nugget goodness for landing, you'd still only be reducing that force from 30 G's to 27. That means that even incredibly tall stacks of nuggets aren't going to compress to break the fall enough for us to survive. And that's kind of a bummer, really. I'm usually all about finding a way to make the physics of these things work out, but in this case, you have to remember, you're jumping out of a 10th story window into a pile of formerly frozen meat.
Nugget forever cursed, never to enter his beloved nugget hideout ever again.
Well, not so fast there, my nuggety friend. You might not be able to break your fall with chicken nuggets, but if you take this whole experiment to its extreme, let's face it, that's the whole point of game theory in the first place, then there is technically a way that the nuggets could save you. Instead of cushioning your fall, what you'd actually need is enough nuggets to make your fall shorter. A pile of nuggets so tall that it lessens your fall distance to a point that you're no longer hitting speeds that result in deadly deceleration.
But just how many will you need? dear viewer, comment below, I need nugget. Then tap subscribe to join the theorists. Can you do both those things in under 3 seconds? Nugget would like to see you try. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Impressive. Perhaps you are worthy of Nugget's friendship after all.
Now, as we've established, our Nugget Cave is 117 feet or 35.7 meters deep and results in us traveling at 60 miles per hour or 96.5 kilometers per hour at impact. We also know that technically we can survive a fall that gets us up to speeds of 38 miles per hour or 61 kilometers an hour. After running some numbers, we were able to calculate that our maximum fall distance to stay under that speed has to be less than 14.2 meters or less than 46.5 feet. Basically the equivalent of a 4.5-story building.
That is still rather high.
Sure it is. You don't see me jumping off a 4-story building, but it is technically survivable, so if we can stack nuggets high enough, we can just land on top of the big pile and slide the rest of the way down. This means that we need a stack of chicken nuggets 73 feet tall. A literal mountain of nuggets. An average nugget is 0.5 inches thick, meaning you need a stack of nuggets 1,772 nuggets high just to get to a survivable height. But that's just talking about a single column of nuggets. Obviously, you need a pile of nuggets wide enough to catch you. Naturally, a pile of nuggets will fall into the shape of a cone. And believe it or not, there is actual documented science that you can use to help find the dimensions of this fictional 2,000 nugget high chicken cone. You can find the shape of this chicken cone by using what's known as its angle of repose. Whenever you create a pile of some substance, grain, gravel, breaded fast food goodness, it tends to form the same style of cone every time. All of these cones have a standard angle of repose, basically how steep the sides of the cones made from that material are. For the theory today, I decided to use bark as the stand-in for chicken nuggets because of its similar weight and thicker, more oblong shapes. Also because wood chips are often called nuggets. That gave me an angle of repose of 45 degrees. Armed with that information and some simple trigonometry, we can calculate the radius and then the volume of the cone, which is, get this, almost 12,000 cubic meters of chickeny delight. That is nearly 3 million gallons of nuggets. But then how many individual nuggets does that huge number translate to? Well, if you divide this total volume by the volume of one chicken nugget, which is 3.5 times 10 to the negative 5th cubic meters, in case you were curious, you get the grand total nugget count to save your life of 340,800,000 chicken nuggets. That is almost 350 million chicken nuggets as the minimum number to get us to survive our fall into Nugget's Cave. And if that number seems big to you, think about it this way. We're talking about a cone of nuggets that is as tall as a 6-story building.
Nugget's pants are not equipped to handle that.
Well, I'd say your pants are the least of your worries there, buddy. I bet your wallet isn't built to handle it either. Buying that many nuggets, even at Burger King's steal of a deal at $1.50 per 10-piece nugget box, you'd be spending over $51 million on chicken flippin' nuggets.
Nuggets cannot afford that. Nuggets has been saving up for Monty's Monstermon card to give to the pretty Lily.
Well, then there you have it, Nugget. Stop digging such deep holes. But most importantly of all, remember, that's just a theory.
A game theory. Thanks for watching, and be a friend to Nugget, and subscribe, please. After everyone at school dying, Nugget needs some new friends. Don't leave Nugget alone.
That's where I'm going to leave this off, because it's awesome. Let's take out the lights. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave me a thumbs up. That'd be awesome. Subscribe, alright? See me, goes. Stay awesome.